Coach, the baseball regular season is wrapping up across the parking lot, but football season in full swing now at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. 2-1-2 teams, each hoping to get back to 500, and we're underway in Week 4. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
We're set. 19. Strong right. Strong right. Strong right. Hey. Line up.
On first down, Slade. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
He's set. 19.
Now a give, right side. Kane. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll try the left side. Slade, and a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Watson. He finds McCoy. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Watson now to throw. Looking deep now for McCoy. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
52, 52. Hey, go, up. Let's go. 52's the mark, boy. 52. Yeah. You don't want to know. 52's the mic right here, over there, right? 52's the mic.
Here's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. Remember, of course, he threw 5 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive, same result here.
But it's hard to believe that you can throw 5 in the previous week and start out your very next game the exact same way. He's going to need a lot of support on his own sideline. Make sure he gets really fully mentally into this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now back to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Let's bring it. Blue dot Porkers. Blue dot Porkers.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Just like that.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd down, Swift. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
He's coming. Line him up.
Now a give, right side. Slade. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now Watson escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards that time and a Bills 1st down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll run on 1st down. Slade. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 15-yard line.
On 2nd and 9. Watson being chased out left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Here's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Check out 24.
To throw is Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
I got you, punk. I've got Mike 10 right here, guys. Mike 10. Watch the run. Watch the run. Mike 10. Mike 10. Mike 10. Another time now.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you.
This is caught inside the 15. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory.
61 yards.
Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Throwing again is Watson. Buying time to his left. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 13 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fleming. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
You don't want no problems with me.
So So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Second and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hey. We got 3. 3 down. Now. Mike 50. Bravo. Mike 50. I'm coming for you, son.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. Give him 53 yards on the ground.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now this time he'll look to throw. Going for it all. A 22-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to regain the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point, but it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Slade, and a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
On 2nd down, it's Kane. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try the air now with Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
66. Bullet high.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Alpha. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Set hut. Ready.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Looking around the league from Raymond James Stadium, they're in the 3rd quarter in Tampa. And the Cowboys now, they've opened things up in that one. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's...
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
On 1st down, Swift. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. 64, weak.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. Watch the out. Slam, and go.
On 3rd down, Swift. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 10.
Come on, baby, let's go.
before they can get the punt away whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll pitch it out here. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Watson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Check that.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. And he's going to go down again. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. So obviously that one really hurts not to be able to convert. But this one's not over yet, Charles. Look at the clock, and then also 2 timeouts still left for him.
And if I'm coaching the defense, I think I'm going all out. And what I mean by that is nothing but pressure packages going at them. I'm going to force them on offense to kind of gamble a little bit, because I will leave openings, all right? You can sting me, but how often will they want to do that? They're going to want to run the ball and bleed the clock. I'm going after them, hoping to make a big play.
And in a sense, 3 timeouts with that 2-minute warning looming.
A great note right there, because it was the 2 timeouts. They get a 3rd one back. They still have a chance.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. He's going to air one out. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. First kick 47. This one looks good as well. And now hang on here. The door, can you hear it? It's a little open.
Or is that the squeaky hinges that I'm hearing right now? Yeah, the door.
Is that too high pitch?
No, not at all. The door is open a little bit. It's almost like when you told those horror stories on the camping trip, right? And now, look out.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit different look on the game at this point.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. On 3rd down, it's Kane. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. So this one in the